Well, welcome back everyone. In this video we're going to have a look at the fire steel. We're going to talk about how to use it, and it comes in our flame kit. So this fire steel is a fantastic piece of kit, and with this you can probably light between 3,000 and 4,000 fires, so a lot of fire. When you first get your hands on one of these, it will be covered in like a black paint. So the first thing we've got to do is prime the Ferro Rod, and so you can see here this area is covered in black paint. It's going to create no sparks, but this shiny section, hopefully you can see that, the shiny bit is what we're after. So we need to scrape off the black paint first of all, and then once the metal is exposed, we can create some sparks. So it's called a ferrocerium rod because we've got iron in here, which provides the rod with stability. We've got a rare earth metal called cerium, which is the bit that when scraped flies off into the air, and in very small quantities and at high temperature it will combust when it meets with oxygen. Okay, that's how it works. There's other trace metals in here like magnesium and other things that just help with that reliability of getting a spark. Essentially, this striker on the logoed side, you want to be able to see the logo, because on this side here, this is the sharpest section of this bit of metal, and we need that sharp bit to scrape off the material. So what we're going to do, we're going to hold that so we can see the logo. We're going to cover the logo with our thumb, and then we're going to angle this steel away from us, so it's about 20 degrees, 15-20 degrees off of the steel rod, and then when we strike we'll be able to create some great sparks. There's two ways of striking this. We can strike by pushing the steel, or we can pull back on the rod. Those two methods are perfectly fine. We can also use any metal that is nice and sharp. So the spine, what we call the spine of the back, the spine of lots of knives, they're designed to be able to create sparks. Okay, so a lot of knife makers will build that functionality into their blades. So people like Ben and Lois Orford, the Bushcraft store, some of the Moorers, lots and lots of knives will have that capability. So it's worth checking out. If you're buying a knife, we've got videos coming up on knives, but if you're buying a knife, make sure it's got a 90-degree spine so that you can strike and create some sparks. Okay, so let's get a little fire going using cotton wool because it's very accessible, nice and easy. There's some in the kit already. It's good because it's fluffy. There's lots of oxygen in there, which is really helpful. So I'm going to weigh it down with this stick so it doesn't blow off into the field and create a fire, and I'm just going to strike. I'm pressing quite hard, 10 to 15 degrees, 20 degrees maybe, striking and getting a nice flame. Hard to see in the sunshine, but we can see that our material is burning. And remember, fire likes to climb, so give it something to climb onto. So I've got another piece of cotton wool here. Sometimes if we're lighting natural materials, things like fat wood or birch bark or some funguses, it takes a little while for them to ignite initially. So what we need to try and do is extend the burn time from our striker. And so what we do is we want to be creating little filings of material that sort of land in here but don't ignite, and we're going to prime this. We're going to build up a nice bank of filings so that when we do strike it, it burns for that little bit longer. And that's really important when we're working with some tinders. So we're just going to create some filings. So now when we strike this, we should get a little bit more time for the tinder to actually catch. So let's have a go. So hopefully you could see that a lot more sparks, a lot more success essentially for when we're working with those natural tinders. So that's everything you need to know about the fire steel or the fire striker. It's a fantastic bit of kit. Really useful, and it will really enhance your time out in the wilderness, should you be lucky enough to spend some time out there. So if you haven't already got one of these, then head over to the website. I'll put links in the description below, Better still, come out to the woods, spend some time with us, do a course, and you can pick one up a little bit cheaper at a discounted rate. We are going to do videos on the other things in here, so do have a look out for those videos, like and subscribe, and when they drop, you'll get a notification. Thanks a lot.